ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of On It. It is 2024, and we are currently watching Jake Paul and Mike Tyson prepare to box each other.
Yep.
That was a sentence.
Yeah.
Like, that was a sentence. I just said that.
It's not that
Like,
crazy, you know?
Come on, bro. Like, you got to think. Imagine we're watching Vine, right?
Yeah.
We're watching Vine, and they go, "Hey, one day, that guy,
Guy's gonna
he's gonna
fight
fight Mike Tyson
in front of
everyone,
tens of millions of people, not billions.
a lot of people,
A ton of people, yeah.
and we are gonna be here to, react to it, talk about it, discuss the end of the fight. But since we are starting the recording of the podcast as soon as this match begins,
Yeah.
probably going to be talking about it throughout the episode until it ends. And probably what's up? I mean, we might as well give our predictions out.
It's either 8 or 10 rounds, but they're 2-minute rounds.
They're 8 2-minute rounds.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say,
which 2-minute rounds is nothing.
First question is, does it go the distance?
Probably.
Who are you picking?
I don't know. Like this.
Who wins? It's a 60-year-old versus a 25-year-old, bro.
Yeah, give me Jake, bro. Now, I want to see Mike knock him out, but.
And I put this right now. I'm not some Jake Paul hater. I don't.
No, you
care
were actually like, he's actually like a real box. Like this is years ago when he had just started. You're like, nah, he'll fuck people up.
I mean, bro, it's like if you're gonna sit there,
because you were like, if you're gonna dedicate all of your time to something, you're probably gonna be pretty fucking good at it.
And there was a time where it was like okay, Logan Paul, it's like he was getting real into wrestling and he was doing all this, and then it's like now he's right back into his scamming ways, and it's like, all right, I can't really respect that, but it's like all Jake Paul has wanted to do is box, and now he's gotten to the literal point where he's gonna make. I mean, the amount of money he's gonna make off of this is, the amount of money he's made off of boxing alone. I mean, he is the biggest boxer besides, what?
Besides nobody.
Tank. I mean,
Canelo,
they asked him personally, like, who's the face of boxing right now, and he gave it to Tank and Canelo, and then he said, and then me, and I'm like, can you be in terms of speculate being a spectacle in boxing?
Yeah. More people are showing out and watching this than they are a Canelo fight.
And they have the whole thing about how this puts other people on, and this helps other boxers and not real, but less known boxers in the mid card, and just get more publicity. But
sure,
the fight has officially began, and I will say we're not going to sit here and talk about the whole fight. Obviously, the whole time we will just discuss it as it goes on. But
there's going to be a lot of hugging going on.
Probably a lot of hugging. But I will say we also have Week 11 to discuss, all of Week 11's games. Sadly, Devin, we do have to discuss your Thursday night football matchup between Washington and Philly, which we'll probably get into that first because it's the most fresh. But discuss some NBA and obviously the ending of this Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. Now, Devin, do we get in? Do we get it? Do we rip off the Band-Aid? Has it even scabbed over yet? Has there even been? Was the cut deep enough to even put a Band-Aid on it?
No, I didn't. I'm not cut by this. I think we came out and defensively did what we needed to do for the first 55 minutes of the game. So on that end, I think it was a great game. But the biggest thing was just not capitalizing on their mistakes, our good defensive play. We held them to field goal range. They missed a few field goals, missed an extra point. We had them. All we had to do was literally score 2 touchdowns, 2 more from where we were, and we would have been chilling. But yeah, some missed throws from Jaden. There were a few underthrows, balls that were hitting dudes in the feet, balls that just weren't placed right. Obviously, the pick late, which kind of sealed it. threw a pick, and then they scored immediately.
And they were on him too. They were on him.
Yeah, no, they were quick.
They were on him, and there was a couple times where maybe I'm like too like naive, and I'm getting used to like watching like Lamar just take off. There were a couple
Yeah,
times where it almost seemed like maybe he was hesitating. Like I don't want to say he couldn't have gotten loose, but it just seemed like
yeah,
maybe he was holding in for that throw.
sure.
That
No, there were a lot of play, and shit, Hurts was doing the same thing where they were kind of just waiting, and then by the time he did make that move to get out, they're at his ankles already, and they got him. Like, if it's not there, I want him to put a move on.
And I will say, I think there were definitely two different games between Washington and Philly.
Yeah.
It was the game before the failed fourth down conversion,
Yep.
and then the game after the failed fourth down conversion.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, momentum can be a factor, but momentum was the factor in this game, especially at that point. We're talking it was 12-10.
Yeah.
Y'all had them.
Yeah.
Y'all were trickling them downfield. Y'all get into field goal range. This takes the lead. This now could they have went out and done what they done afterwards and put up what 2 or 3 more touchdowns after that? They could have. They could have. Sure. But to me, momentum being one of the biggest killers, not getting that fourth down, and I don't know how you feel about that. I was fully like, no. Like as soon as they sent out the kicker, I was like, or as soon as they didn't send out the kicker, I was like, come on.
Yeah, I was
pissed. I was like, take the lead, because it changes the game. Who knows? It just doesn't put Philly in a different situation where they end up in a field goal. They end up kicking a field goal next drive, and maybe they make it, maybe they miss it, maybe it's 15, or maybe it's 15-13, and it's not.
I think for Philly, it was like we just kept allowing them to get back into this game. They did everything to eliminate themselves from this game, missing field goals, really not doing shit offensively. We did well to shut down Saquon for most of that game. We shut down most of their pass game. No big plays, nothing stupid. A few plays here and there, but no, yeah, we gave them every opportunity to win that game, and that last fourth down was just.
But I mean, and Saquon had his burst throughout the game, but it seemed like
it didn't do anything.
Like he was being contained, and I mean, it's just like like we said, just after that fourth down conversion, Philly went on a run and they just did not look back. Like
it was they scored pretty fucking quickly after that, and then Jaden goes out, throws a pretty bad pick, and then Saquon scores 2 plays later, the next play or whatever. So yeah, it all kind of compounded late in the game at the right time for Philly. Like if that had happened earlier in the game, I think we could have bounced back from that. But it all kind of just hit us right at the end of that game.
Now, do you also wonder what it looks like if they make those field goals?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we still would have had opportunities to score, which was our biggest problem. Like if they had made those 2 field goals, we would have been down 12-10.
It would have been 12-10, and then if they made that extra point, so it would have been 19-10, which it was at one point. It was at one point, correct? 19-10.
Yes.
So I mean,
yeah. So,
but it could have been 19-10.
Even them making those field goals, we were never out of that game. Like getting Philly to kick field goals was the plan. Making them kick field goals, getting them away from the end zone.
But I almost feel like getting them to kick field goals, you're continuing to get them to kick field goals, if not punting the football. And now they're missing field goals. It's almost like
even a bigger opportunity.
Is there a chance that Washington, their offense, just was playing very conservative all game?
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere decided to get super ballsy. on fourth down for no reason.
No reason.
Really, no reason. I mean,
we played a honestly too conservative game, running the football a lot, little short passes, little dump off passes. Granted, Jaden didn't have a whole lot of time, but I mean, not getting the ball to Terry at all. I don't think they got it to him once, if I
no,
can remember.
I don't
I mean,
believe he
at
had
least
a single catch
for most of that game, barely any targets to him. So, and the balls that were thrown out there to some of these guys were underthrown. So,
but you just got to think there's a world where they kick that field goal and it's 13-12, and say they get a stop, and say they get another field goal and it's 16-12. And now y'all, but it's fourth quarter. It's the fourth quarter, and Washington has the momentum going in to the fourth quarter with a 4-point lead. I mean, that's a very different ball game than how quickly it flipped to Philly's, to Philly's advantage.
Yeah, but no, I think offensively both of us were horrendous.
I do hope this lights some type of fire for the rematch, because obviously we're going to get to see this matchup again. They got to see, they basically got to feel each other out. It's still, either one of their division. It's obviously still in Philly's, more in Philly's hands now. Now I do got to ask you this question. I'm very critical about the Bills.
Yeah.
In their schedule. And I just happened to notice, and it wasn't me that pointed out, it was just somebody else pointing it out, that Washington is in the same boat. I haven't beaten a team with a winning record yet.
No.
Does that bother you?
No. Because, again, I am going back to my expectations preseason. Yes, it's cool we have 7 wins. 10, 11 wins is making a shoe into the playoffs. I don't know how good we really are. I know that Jaden has hope. We have hope from him. But I don't think this team was built. This is essentially the same team we had last year, just with a new quarterback. This team wasn't built to be a playoff contending team. So, I'm not concerned with.
Yeah, I needed to ask like a Washington fan, because obviously, a random person is just going to shit on Washington for not beating a team above 500, but you gotta expect the Bill, like you said, expectations. The Bills, they should beat teams above 500. Washington was expected to be one of those teams under 500.
Here's the thing: we beat the Bengals, who are better than their record.
Yeah.
We had I wouldn't say a close game, but a better game against the Ravens than the Bills did. A game we should have won against the Steelers. A game we really could have won pretty handily last night, but decided to just, I don't know, play just a stupid. We were playing like we wanted to score 18 points that whole game. But I don't know.
I mean, so did this change any? Did this change any feelings? Because I know last episode you were starting to teeter on like, I don't know if I gotta hop on this hype and say we actually might go on some type of I don't know what type of run you were even expecting.
No, but
from last
episode, at this point with our schedule coming up, I think we can make the playoffs. But again, I don't think that this team is contending for playoff wins by any means.
Okay. Well, we had to talk about the rest of Week 11's games and put in all these predictions, but I guess we do need to check in on these on this fight. It is round 5 of Tyson and Jake Paul, and I'm not gonna lie,
it's crazy that we waited 3 years for a 16-minute fight.
Yeah, it's been a whole lot of just swinging. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, like they're barely catching each other. I almost kind of feel bad for Mike Tyson. Like I get it. Like he's Mike Tyson, but he still looks like a 6-year-old dude getting punched.
He does.
Like he's still Like it's like the faces he's making, like the oohs, like they're just like they're old man faces, and I kind of feel bad. Like what if, like God forbid, like what if something, like just anything where it's like, Mike Tyson suffered this from the fight. It's like that
a torn labia.
somebody that's not that old would have maybe suffered. It's just I don't know. I hopefully
Mike Tyson has an aneurysm.
I'm just assuming that no matter how this fight ends, Mike Tyson trained well enough to keep himself safe. If that makes any sense.
Mike will be fine. I don't know.
We'll see. I mean,
I don't have a whole lot of feeling toward this fight.
I mean, it's flying by.
No, it's moving incredibly fast.
It is flying by. I mean,
I'm gonna be honest. It's buffering a little bit, so I'm kind of catching some weird like.
Oh, it's buffering for you?
A little bit, yeah. But I don't really care.
That's a shame. I'm not gonna lie. It is crystal clear on this side.
Yeah.
But it is flying by. We started the episode before the bell even rang, and we're not even at the 18-minute mark.
No.
So that puts in perspective how fast this game's flying by. But Devan, we got week 11 games to predict. And I'll say some of these games, like we got a couple really really good matchups, a couple that are gonna maybe decide some, that are gonna have some playoff implications in the future, maybe decide some seedings, but then we also have a couple games,
some pretty fucking shit dick games.
Yeah, we got a couple games that are kind of like all right, I guess. And the first game is kind of in the middle of those two. It's Chicago versus Green Bay.
Yeah.
Now, my biggest thing is, this is really like what I've been waiting for, is Caleb Williams against a tougher divisional matchup.
Well, in a pretty reasonable defense.
Well, for sure. Like the Green Bay, the Detroit matchup. That's what I pretty much said was going to be an 0-4 sweep. There's no way they're getting a win over any of them. But
apparently, Caleb's numbers are very bad. Like his completion percentage past 10 yards is the worst ever, or whatever. I don't know.
There were conversations this week about Caleb Williams being benched.
Really?
Well, I'm saying like there were reports coming out of Caleb Williams. Bears say Caleb Williams will not be benched.
Now, when he's on the bench, does he get to sit on anything?
Look, I'm just saying, if you got to come out and say we are not benching our quarterback,
true.
There were conversations being had about benching that quarterback. There's no way.
We haven't had that conversation.
We have not had the conversation of should Caleb Williams be benched.
No, I'm saying that the Commanders haven't gone near that conversation.
Oh, I thought you were saying we
since day one.
We've sat here and discussed like, all right, where maybe like last episode, where does he rank amongst the rookie quarterbacks right now?
But yeah, I mean, he's probably last amongst playing rookies. Yeah,
like it made me look into it a little bit, and it's like this is, I'm not gonna say unheard of, but Caleb Williams, with the expectations he had, this is way too early to be talking about benching your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, because I started looking into like the biggest quarterback bust, and it's like Jamarcus Russell got 3 years.
True.
If Jamarcus Russell gets 3 years, like as long as Caleb Williams is just watching tape, it gets at least 2 more seasons.
Yeah, no, he's above Jamarcus. Or he could pull a Joe Burrow and just tear his ACL and come back next year.
Come back crazy.
But see, the worst part about it is like he's the only rookie that the team who drafted him like prepped and tried to make a playoff team type of push. And not only is their team bad, their quarterback is bad. So,
but there's absolutely no way after all these years and they knowing that their quarterback being dog shit is their biggest problem, and they've never been able to find a quarterback. They're going to finally get somebody that they, I guess, believe in, Like, I don't want to say
I
finally
mean,
believe in like this is the actual first one because I mean they hyped up Justin Fields. I mean Justin Fields was he was supposed to be this fucking baller, but
yeah.
obviously we saw what happened with him in Chicago, and I just think if you bench Caleb Williams right now, what direction are you heading towards in any near future?
You know,
I mean,
like there's zero reason to bench Caleb. Um, yeah, if they miss the playoffs with him, cool. If they, I mean, maybe they want to make a push to make the playoffs, but I don't know who they have as a backup
you
who
don't
can.
have to. You don't need. They don't need to go on some playoff run this season, and they don't need that. Like,
No,
okay, and is this
but
is
but
this
the dumbest thing was that they didn't even think twice about thinking in the future. They pick up uh, a okay running back, an old receiver. They pick up all these people for a win now type of team, and then you got some fucking guy who's painting his fucking nails and lip glossing himself and
Caleb Williams obviously hasn't played
being
well
a fruit
at
fly.
all. Caleb Williams has not played well unless it was against like Carolina or just the man has not played good football. But I still feel like if we're looking at which we'll talk about it, like Anthony Richardson still getting opportunities, Bryce Young, who I mean still
Honestly,
deserves
looking
to have an
back on it, like
opportunity.
I know they had to bench AR for what he did, but
Well, we are going to talk about that. So
yeah,
if you have a thought on that, hold that because we are going to discuss AR.
okay,
But
yeah.
I mean,
Give me the Packers.
either way, give me the Packers, but do not bench Caleb Williams. If you bench Caleb Williams, you're pretty much writing him off as at least Chicago's savior. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, we're talking 10 weeks, 11 weeks of football, and we're talking about the guy that was supposed to be able to come and take a team that if you just, we'll make a couple moves and he'll take us to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we forget that the Panthers did that 2 years ago. They go out and they pick up Thielen and they pick up Miles Sanders and Hayden Hurst, and they go out and get these guys and have a rookie quarterback, and then they win 2 games. So I don't know. The Bears suck.
Bears suck.
Plain and simple.
Give me Green
But
Bay.
Jordan Love has played like shit most of the year, and
Oh yeah.
the
Don't
Packers.
get it confused. Bro is throwing that ball to the other team like there's no tomorrow. Chicago might look like a great defense, at least
Yeah,
when the ball's in the air a few times.
yeah,
But yeah, give me Green Bay. Jacksonville versus Detroit. See now this is one of them games where I just don't care about at all.
fair.
There's no way Detroit's losing this football game.
There is a way.
There's no if they don't show up, maybe. I mean, if they
Yeah,
forfeit,
like last week. I mean, they should have lost last week.
yeah, but
Um,
but Houston didn't do. I mean, it's not Houston didn't do themselves. They didn't do themselves any favors. It's like they were
of
doing
course not.
each other favors.
Yes,
Like they were helping each other try to win that football game. So, I don't know.
Mike Tyson has 5 landed punches. What are we doing?
Yeah.
The
So
fight's already over. Essentially,
this fight's over. Tyson's very very
what a
winded.
waste of time.
This was a big waste of time. They put shades in AT&T Stadium for this, but will not do it for a Cowboys football game. So hey,
But
you
this,
know,
I mean, the sun's down there, no?
not when it started though. When it started at 8,
Yeah, it was. It started at 8. It's
it's
7 over there.
3 hours behind.
Dallas is not 3 hours behind.
The other side of Texas is.
Maybe Dallas
Are
is
you
not.
sure?
Dallas is central. I think they're
Fact check
one to
me on
two.
that. Fact check me on that because I thought Texas was a few hours behind.
It's 1 or 2. It's not 3. 3 is Pacific. It's 1 hour. Yeah.
Huh. Huh. Then why? What's the point of the shade? What's the point of the curtains?
Uh,
Who the
so
fuck
no
cares?
one gets a free fight of a 60-year-old man.
I can tell you right
and then
now.
a bunch of
I know multiple people right now.
There was an Indian boxer they had in the first fight.
I
Who the
know
fuck's watching an
multiple.
Indian box?
I know multiple people right now getting this fight for free. So I mean, this is.
This fight essentially is free. The entire world has fucking Netflix, which is why Dana White needs to sign a deal for like $20 billion with Netflix and stop making us pay for fucking UFC fights because I'm tired of it.
Jake and Mike hugging. You know they're best friends. They're
kissing, they're
they
hugging.
love each other. He's gonna give him a pigeon after the fight. They love each other.
No, he gave him a pigeon before the fight.
Did he give it to him? I missed it. I didn't see him.
Yeah, no, he gave him a pigeon. Yeah.
I saw. Well, no. I'm saying he came out with pigeons. Came out with pigeons.
Maybe I was dreaming. I'm pretty sure Jake gave Mike.
No, he gave him a pigeon, and Mike said, "I'm gonna feed this to my." He said,
sure.
"I'm gonna feed it to my something." But I'm saying, to the ring, he had pigeons. Like in his lowrider, he came out in a lowrider and had birds in a cage.
We know what this is about, and
this was for the pigeons. This was all about birds.
This is just straight up for the birds.
This was for the birds. This was literally this was literally for the fucking birds.
This is literally for the birds.
This is really what this was.
This is why boxing sucks, dude. It's like no one cares.
Boxing doesn't suck.
Boxing sucks.
Boxing doesn't suck. I will say that
UFC is actually entertaining.
But I will
this
say
is not entertaining. Like boxing is all hype and bullshit around the fight. That's way more entertaining than the actual fights themselves.
The build up to this fight was entertaining. You can't say you weren't enjoying seeing like Mike Tyson. Like we got to watch.
No, it's cool.
Mike
This is
Tyson
This is the first time I've seen Mike fight live.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I guess he did fight.
He fought Roy Judge and Roy
a few years ago.
Jones Jr.
Which was horrible. But yeah, Jake Paul's gonna go on to box whoever he wants to box. I mean, that's what he can go.
But the problem for him is like making other stars. Like he has to make.
Well, he needs that rematch with Tommy.
Yeah, but apparently he wants to fight Canelo.
I would probably wait.
But Canelo is half his size and weight.
What's Canelo walking at?
Probably 45, 55.
Yeah. I mean, they could. It would definitely. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's 5'7", 170.
Oh, Canelo is.
Yeah, Jake's right now probably 2 something.
No.
Jake right now, yeah.
No. Hell no.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck no.
Let me. He just got weighed yesterday, so.
Okay, what did he weigh in at yesterday? Because Jake ain't no 2 something.
Bro's 227.
227?
Yeah, they're heavyweights.
Bro's 220. Pull up his
6'1",
other
227.
No, pull up his other weights that he fought at, because he must have taken the most juice ever before this fight.
He gained 40 pounds. I mean, Jake's not
say
that.
Say that one more time. Repeat what you just said.
40 pounds.
Okay, so he walks around at like 180.
185. Yeah.
Okay,
but he's not. He doesn't look like he's on juice. He's big.
You're right. I was joking.
But he's carrying fat.
Well, I remember the conversation being like, he wasn't even big enough or heavy enough to fight Logan when Logan was boxing.
Sure.
Because Logan was walking around
Logan's
walking around heavier.
A few inches taller, no?
Yeah, but he's probably he looks right now. I mean, he looks probably like 3 or 4 inches taller. Either way, yeah, Jake Paul.
Logan's probably like 6'4".
Jake Paul's definitely gonna drop, but no, he could drop down to he could drop down and fight Canelo. He's definitely
Canelo would have to.
He has fought lighter than this.
No, I know, but I mean, he fought Nate Robinson. But it's not going to be like a.
Was that Jake Paul?
A real fight. That was Jake's first fight. He knocked the fuck out of Nate Robinson.
I couldn't remember if it was. I couldn't remember. Back then, there was
because that was like the zone and all that shit.
I'm taking Detroit.
Forgot we were even talking about football.
I am going to take Detroit.
Yeah, I've been waiting for Jacksonville to show us something.
No, I mean, is Trevor Lawrence even playing?
Probably not. He's got a shoulder injury now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even know. I don't even know if I
Well,
think it's
they got Mac Jones.
it's
So
the Mac Jones show,
don't
bro. No, I will.
don't shit on old Mackie over there, brother.
I'll definitely shit on old Mackie there. I'll definitely do that. I won't mind. I won't mind.
That's fair.
So Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I assume Detroit. Vegas versus Miami. This is kind of another one, Devin. I'm not gonna lie. I just,
Miami better win this game. Like I think I've taken Miami the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if Miami's gonna keep being talked about like, I don't know, some type of decent football team, yeah, they better win this.
They had the benefit of not having Tua. Where the benefit was they could say, yeah, it's because we're playing with backup quarterbacks, but it's like every other aspect of that team is nowhere near where they were before. Like Tyreek is not getting open. Waddle's not doing shit. That run game sucks. Ball sack. Achane hasn't done a thing. Mostert's fucking 47 years old. The defense is fluttering. I mean, they're running at what's his name? Kendall Fuller or Will Fuller is one of their fucking best players out there. So, Lord knows.
I hear you. Rams, Patriots.
I didn't pick. Who'd you write me down for? Oh no, I said Miami.
Yeah, you definitely.
I said Miami.
Miami better win. Rams, Patriots. All I'll say about this is Rams better not get caught lacking.
They might.
This might be closer than you think. I am gonna go with the Rams still, but I don't.
I don't know. The Rams don't. Stafford has looked fairly bad of recent. That defense is okay. It's not great. The Patriots might be getting a little bit hungry. Drake May wants to win.
I mean, I just think the vibes are probably better, like with the just like, oh man, we got this rookie quarterback that we can believe in. Then like, Jacoby's back again.
Such a dumb idea. It's like,
here he is.
We know, everyone knows that you guys do not have a playoff ready team. Don't waste Drake May's fucking first full year.
Yeah, and I think it's been proven already. It's like when he said, oh, Jacoby Brissett's the most pro-ready guy. It's like, okay, he might be the most pro-ready guy week one. But if you let Drake May get his reps in, he might be
He'll be pro-ready by week 4.
His ceiling, his ceiling for what he can do as pro for what if his pro-ready might be a way higher ceiling than Jacoby Brissett's pro-ready.
Yeah, and it's like instead you're gonna have a dude who is pro ready now. You're gonna have him play until what? He played until what? Week 5, week 6, and then you're taking a Drake May who could have played 5 NFL games already and probably had the same record.
Which pro ready is such a stupid word. Like, word. Mason Rudolph is pro ready. Mac Jones is pro ready.
Carson Wentz is pro ready. Like
Carson Wentz is pro ready. Joe Flacco.
Flacco's
pro ready. But I am gonna go with the Rams. Come on, bro. You know.
I think I'd be a fool not to. Yeah.
I think you would be, but I mean, if you wanna take New England, you can.
No, I think the Rams need one. They need to get their get back and get the boys moving.
All right, now this game, I'm a little confused. So obviously, it's Saints Browns. So the Jameis theory. Last week was Cleveland's bye week, and
they had a bad game before that,
and it also landed on a good week. Now, if you can help me, my memory.
See, I forgot about that because I picked up Jameis because my quarterback room in one of my leagues is pretty depleted.
Now I could go back in the notes.
But I forgot about the bye week.
I can go back in the notes and find it, but I think
the bye week counts.
I think the bye week counts.
Mm-hmm.
So this is gonna be a bad week. You know what?
And but this is a Saints team that
I believe it.
I guess has a bit of a new energy around here. New head coach. The head coach is apparently the first day he clogged the toilet and was like, "Oh, this is just shit." And then I don't know. He's like, "Yeah, that was a sign we were going to win this football game. I walked in the office and I clogged that bitch."
I almost feel. I mean, with that being said, if last week was a bad week or a good week for the Jameis Winston theory, and it was a bye week and it counts, I
The
gotta
bye
go
week
with it
does
being a good
count.
week. And you know what? It's only right that he comes into New Orleans and throws like 3 or 4 picks.
Sure. Yeah.
And I mean, it's a return, and
Mm-hmm.
the fans are gonna love it, and he's even gonna love it.
Of
He'll
course.
be okay with it.
I'm just blessed to be back in New
So
Orleans.
give me New Orleans.
I'll take the Saints. Yeah.
All right.
Big fan.
Now let's talk about some real shit.
Uh-oh.
Let's talk about some real shit, Devin. Let's talk about some real playoff implication shit. Let's talk about some AFC North implication shit. We got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That sucks.
For who?
The Steelers.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see. I don't believe in the Steelers team at all. They've skirted by a lot. They didn't look very good against us. We could have wiped them, but that defense is still there, still a thing. I don't think they have a game plan for. They have a game plan for Lamar. It's not going to work. It never does. It never will.
They're 3-1 against Lamar.
Never mind. It won't work. They're fuck. Thanks for that stat. Appreciate it.
Well, just when you said it never works. I was like, well,
Well, it has worked.
it
Yeah,
works.
I don't know.
It works.
I don't think that their offense is good enough to counteract. Like again, the Steelers' defense is one of the best in the league, and they have the ability to shut down an aspect of your team. But there's about 3 or 4 aspects of this team that can spank the Steelers.
I've
Yeah,
been
I don't know.
thinking about it. Yeah, I've been thinking about it all week, and it's like, all right, early on in Lamar's career, the pass was almost disrespected, and I feel like there was more focus on stopping the run.
Yeah.
So, like you said, there's one aspect of the game that I think that defenses were going into looking at to stop, and that was Lamar running the football.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where it was, oh shit,
This motherfucker can sling that bitch.
this man has a
He's
rocket.
not overthrowing everybody anymore.
This man can throw.
Yeah.
And when I say this was discovered, I mean years ago at this point, because we've been known this.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're looking at a Ravens offense where the Steelers are going to have to be able to contain Lamar in the run and pass.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Lamar can sit in the pocket and sling it. Lamar is the best quarterback against the blitz. So
Yep.
if they send whoever, whatever, TJ Watt's cool. TJ Watt's the best defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit here and disrespect him.
No.
But
Lamar Jackson.
There's almost no way Lamar gets sacked by him unless he runs into TJ Watt.
I mean, there are possibilities of. I mean,
no, like listen to what I'm saying. Like he's scrambling in the pocket, he goes to escape, and he happens to run into TJ. Like
sure,
TJ's back there, but I'm saying like it's not.
If we're talking 1-on-1, TJ's the only guy to get through. He's not touching him.
I think,
but if there's a situation where, he steps up and everything collapses.
We'll take a lot of penalties. I think we'll take a lot of penalties to protect Lamar, making sure that he don't get to him.
Sure.
Which we'll have to come back from. But then they have to stop Derrick Henry. And I still feel like that hasn't fully been – we haven't – like, obviously we've seen the games where, like Lamar's had his MVP performances. Derrick Henry's had his crazy runs. But we've still yet to see a team like really face the ultimatum of the Ravens offense where it's like they were fully able to stop one of those things, and we got to see like, okay, can the Ravens fully put it on this one part of their offense and make it work? And I think if there is a defense, if there is a team that could make us do that, it is the Pittsburgh Steelers. If they figure out a way to contain, let's say they are going in this game saying, you know what, fuck it, Derrick Henry isn't doing a thing to us. That is our focus. We're making Lamar Jackson win this game with his arms and legs. And you know what? If we can't get the run game going, then obviously, yes, it's going to be the Lamar Jackson show, and he's going to be running around throwing that football. But with all that being said, I still think when we do have to face the ultimatum of maybe having to put all of our eggs in one basket in a game, I think we'll be able to make it work.
But
I am worried about, like, okay,
the only time they've made, there were teams that have made you guys focus on just throwing the ball, but that's like late in games where like against the Browns, where
we were down
21,
Aguilar
gets slammed in the chest with a football and can't catch it. But
we were down 21-7, and we were still toting with Derrick Henry versus the Bengals. You know, like it was like it's like we haven't abandoned anything.
No,
that makes any sense.
But I think for you guys in this game to kind of allow you guys, because you guys play best when you mix everything up, when they know that you guys can run with Derrick. You have Keaton Mitchell back now, so another threat back there. Also, I mean, Juice has been great as
I love it
for little dump off passes, just quick first downs. Keaton can do the same thing. But yeah, no, when you guys can run through all aspects of it and mix everything up, you guys are the best. But
hopefully we can get something going with him too.
I know. I want to see some slants from him. Some good plays.
I'm not gonna overreact, but did you see his tweet after the game? He was like, "There's always two sides to a story." I was like, "What is this? What does this mean? Why are you already
like, dude? You just got traded from the Panthers."
Like, I'm not gonna lie. If there's one thing, like, I feel like the Ravens, like, it's like they're not dealing with players posting cryptic messages and shit. It's like, shut up.
Sometimes.
Who?
Not right now.
I don't. Bro,
Odell.
Odell. I don't know. Odell was
Odell kind of got into place when he showed up here.
Yeah, I was gonna say Odell was on his best behavior playing with Mr. Jackson.
He was.
Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think about it. We were that close to signing Colin.
True.
That close, and then somebody decided to post something, and it all fell through. But I am worried. You know, can we stop Najee? Yes, I think we can. Does that mean
I don't think Najee is that scary? I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why I say that or whatever, but
say George Pickens ain't scary. Say George
Pickens is scary.
Yeah. Now say George Pickens with Marlon Humphrey on him ain't scary. It's very scary. Yeah,
agreed.
It's very scary. I'm scared of that.
Yes, that's the only thing. I think trying to get some pressure on Russ. But yeah.
Tre'Davious White?
Huh?
Tre'Davious White?
Yeah.
You know, we
double George Pickens the whole game. Keep someone on his hip and someone playing over the top.
Yes, please.
Because that's all they got. I mean, maybe they can run it out with Freiermuth and fuck some shit up, but you got to avoid the big plays, the touchdown passes, all that shit. But no, y'all need to score early. Every time you guys have lost, shit, just, I mean, this year, but a lot of games is, just getting stopped early.
I mean,
kicking field goals and shit.
I don't, not to disagree, but like, yeah, like for the Raiders' sake, it's like we never really got anything going.
No.
For the Chiefs, I want to say we scored on the opening drive with Derrick Henry.
Yes.
And then what was our other loss? Oh, the Browns. We just dropped a bunch of interceptions. I don't know what to say about that one.
Yeah.
I also need Tucker making field goals this game.
Yeah.
So, because that's the thing, like, no, like the Steelers, if they get into field goal range, they're getting 3 points.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to be able to at least match. If we can't match the Steelers in field goals, now if we're up 21 points, we don't really need to match them in field goals. But if we're in
No.
a situation where it does turn into a defensive battle, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to be on top of that. Also,
but I
Patrick
would
Queen.
fuck PQ. Who cares?
He's been running his mouth all week. He's been running his mouth since he left the Ravens, and it's like an ex-girlfriend that's like, I don't know what
it's
it
like
is.
no, it's like a fat ex-girlfriend. It's like I don't want anything to do like this. That was a.
But
I don't want you back.
But
it's a mistake.
It's not that I don't want you back. It's like it's okay. Like we're
good. We're on good terms. You're yapping your ass off.
I'm happy.
Shut up.
You're happy.
Yeah.
Everything's cool. Like there's no reason for us to. Why do you keep talking about me? Why you keep like it just seems like Patrick Queen, especially after he pulled that, guys, it's just
mom being a villain.
It's just football. It's just football.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut up.
Go ahead,
so I'm going with Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm taking Baltimore. I mean, it's a 1:00 game, which is I don't know, cool.
In Pittsburgh.
It's in Pitt.
In Pittsburgh.
This is the first of 2 for y'all. So
yeah. And apparently they said last thing before we go on to something else. They said the Steelers got a tough schedule moving forward, and I want to check myself. They got Baltimore, then they got Cleveland, then they got Cincinnati, then they got Cleveland again, then they got Philly, then they got Baltimore, then they got Kansas City, then they got Cincy.
Damn. The easiest team on there is the Browns.
Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Browns, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals. Yeah.
That's brutal. Y'all need to step up and whoop their ass.
So,
because they could go 8-9.
Oh, dude, that'd be treacherous for Mike Tomlin's career.
That'd
starting 7-2 and not ending finally not having your above 500 or better. Wow.
I mean, because they would have to steal one from y'all. I think y'all can beat them twice. They would have to steal one from by that point.
They'll beat the Browns twice.
Have they played the Browns yet, or they have 2 against the Browns?
They got 2 against the Browns.
Damn, then never mind. Maybe they tie the Browns. We'll see.
Oh my God, if they
they'll go 8-1.
Well, then they'll still be 500. So
they're not beating the Chiefs when they're 15-0.
No, probably not. That's crazy that you. Is that what you? We'll get into that. Minnesota versus Tennessee.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Minnesota I would like.
They've struggled a bit, but
I would like for them just.
You can't struggle as hard as the Titans.
Maybe just look a little more dominant again. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I want to see a good old-fashioned sloppy butt mess.
Indianapolis versus New York Jets. Low key, I wanted Joe Flacco versus Aaron Rodgers, but we don't get that because I'm not gonna say for some reason, but surprisingly, they kind of made it seem like, they said Anthony Richardson was QB2 for the rest of the year.
Well, they said he will be benched indefinitely.
So for the rest of the year?
No, indefinitely just means we don't know how long.
But they said the man wasn't going to be the starting quarterback. They said Joe Flacco was going to be the starting quarterback for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and then Joe comes out looking like he's 40 years old, which he should look like that at 40, or 20 or 39 or however old he is. But I don't know. I think it would be a mistake to bench AR for that long.
Why bench
if
him
if they really believe in him and his development?
But why bench him in the first place? You can't keep doing this quarterback carousel shit.
No, I know.
Just the fact that Caleb Williams shit came out, like, oh, the Bears say they're not benching him, which means they were having some type of conversation, is gonna do something to his mental.
Yeah,
something to
but
him.
with AR's benching, it was like, yeah, he's playing like dog shit, but it was a principle thing, and it was like, no, we have to bench him.
But is it worth it? Is it really worth it? I mean, at the end of the day, what's going to change if AR goes out there and just gets hurt, pulls something, has to go out again? He's in concussion protocol. I mean, the man has talent. We've said this over and over again.
Yeah.
but we cannot see him consistently play football. We've never seen it.
No.
So,
And it's like even when he is healthy, he fucks it up and gets
I
benched.
mean, if anything, the Colts really fucked up because they had a healthy Anthony Richardson last week,
Yeah.
and they decided to not play him. So they're
Yeah.
gonna throw him in this
Agreed.
Jets game after being rusty and not playing for 2 weeks, and who knows what the hell is gonna happen. I don't know who to go with this. I mean, I want to say, I mean, I'm done giving any hope for the Jets, but I mean,
I mean,
they can beat the Colts.
they can handily beat the Colts if they want to win games. No, it's really a shame.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna put that much into a fucking team and blow it up week 5, fire your head coach, and I don't know. It's like make those decisions beforehand. This is just getting real stupid. But no, this is for like I've said this for a few weeks. If they lose this game, they are done.
I think they're already done.
I agree, but they essentially have to win out to make an impact. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like picking the Colts just because I really don't trust AR at all. I don't like him as a quarterback.
Yeah, neither do I.
No, I honestly think you can throw him at DN and he'll be 10 times better than Chase Young.
Probably.
So,
I mean, the man's an athletic freak, but he just can't stay healthy.
yeah,
So Jets.
give me the Jets.
All right. Atlanta versus Denver. Atlanta better fucking win this game. I mean,
See, same. Atlanta's. Kirk
Atlanta.
pisses me off, dude.
Denver's favored to win this game.
Yeah, Denver's. I don't know what's going on.
I guess give me the underdog Falcons. I mean, I'll take it.
But no, for the amount of talent on this Falcons team, they really got to prove why they're projected to be pretty good.
Well, I don't know. I think we've already established they're not a team that we can expect to just go in here and dog walk Denver. I mean, it's probably going to be like a 24-17 game. But
sure.
Atlanta, I mean, they need to win this game. If they do not win this game, I mean, a week ago it was I guess the NFC South is theirs. It ain't even close to theirs if they can't beat Denver.
Sure.
But I'm gonna go Atlanta.
But yeah, like I said before, it's like we don't know why Denver's good, or playing somewhat well.
Their defense and Bo Nix isn't terrible.
Bo Nix is really not that bad. Obviously, a bunch of rookie mistakes and shit, but never mind. Give me Denver.
You just want to be different. You want to be different.
No, I'm a hater, dude. I'm a hater.
You want to be different so bad.
I'm a hate on Kirk, dude. I mean, it's bullshit. You're paying this dude $40 million a year, or however much he's making, but like everyone expected him to come out and give Kyle Pitts the ball and
you only pocket
Bijan's gonna be an animal.
Why do you only pocket watch Kirk?
Nah, I pocket watch everybody.
You only pocket watch Kirk.
No.
Yes, you only pocket watch Kirk. Yes.
No.
All right, whatever. You only I only hear you pocket watch Kirk. Seattle versus San Fran.
I mean, shit. We pocket watch Dak every goddamn day. Dude, that motherfucker is not out there.
All right, the world makes us pocket watch Dak. All right,
I know.
They force us. They force us to pocket watch Dak. San Fran versus Seattle.
Yeah.
It's finally time to gauge this NFC West because we talked about it being wide open, but I mean, it is. I personally still am going to stand on the take that Seattle is not good. Now, have the Niners played great? No, but I mean,
they've been hurt
with McCaffrey being back. They to me they aren't the most dominant Niners team we've seen in the past few years. And Seattle isn't good, and the 49ers, I mean, they got to turn it on at some point. They're 5-4, and that's what I was gonna say. The Rams and Niners, one of these teams, they got to turn it on at some point.
I mean, what, the Cardinals are leading the division, no?
The Cardinals are leading the division right now, and I
Yeah.
mean, if that's what we're going to do, all right, we can do that. But I don't I don't know, bro. I don't know what to expect from the NFC West right now.
Yeah, no. With McCaffrey back, I want to see him just blow the dick off of Seattle, and I don't know. It's like they still have Ayuk out. Kittle's always a little bit banged up. Debo's hit or miss. Purdy's really, we haven't talked about Purdy at all this year.
Well, it's because he's
I
not
mean,
that
because
good of a
we know
quarterback.
who he is, and he's not gonna come out and change the team. He's just gonna kind of do his thing and help out fucking Christian and whatever.
Christian
But
and
I don't
Debo and
know.
Kittle and whoever else. But Devin,
Yeah, I want to see Christian
uh,
score a few tutties out here.
so I'm
Go
assuming
crazy.
you're taking San Fran.
All right.
We got a big game, nationally televised, 425. It's gonna be covered on CBS all across America. Devin, Kansas City versus
In
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
In Buffalo. Now, obviously, we've had our problems with Buffalo fans, and we have our gears that are grinding from the undefeated Chiefs. But
I started actually watching the 30 for 30 on their 4 Super Bowl losses just to see where their pain comes from.
mm-hmm,
Kind of understand it a little bit,
yeah,
but
I understand. Well,
I
see,
mean it's cool
most
to
of
go to
those
4.
fans are dead. So
No, they're
I
not.
don't know if they're. Oh, okay. What, they're 60? Do they care about football at this point?
Well, I mean, if you were born in the 70s or 80s or
Yeah, sure. I mean,
40s,
I'm just
50s.
saying, like, how many Bills fans were there really around? I mean, they were all Jets and Giants.
Well, it's trickle down. Your life sucks. You make your kids' lives suck.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Okay.
make them grow up in Buffalo.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
already a real
That's
shitter.
definitely, yeah.
You make them fans of a team that's never done anything
You make them root for
except for.
receivers that don't wear shoes. Um,
And apparently it works for him. But yeah, I wanted to. I hope it snows during this game and he has to walk into the stadium barefoot. But
and the man better warm up barefoot.
he better.
He better. The
He
man
won't.
better warm up. He won't. He won't. Wow. We already started this off poorly.
Yeah, it's whatever.
So yeah, all the Bills fans clicked off, but I was gonna say that this should be a good game. I mean, this should be a fantastic game. This should be the game that everybody expects. But with our luck, it's probably not going to be.
Well, it's not going to be one of those games like the AFC Championship from whatever year that was, where it's touchdown, 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 back to back, all fucking game long. Now it's going to be fairly defensive. Um, I mean, the Chiefs are
Okay.
running
Yeah.
with whatever the fuck they got. They've scored 30 points once this year. The Bills, we've seen them play against better defenses, which the Chiefs um, have not performed. So, yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
pretty tight, I think. Probably, yeah,
I
27
did
to
have written
21 or
down.
something.
I did have written down. If anything, this may come down to more of defensive play.
I think entirely it will. And
But I mean, you also got to think like, okay, right as of right now, I do think that the Bills are a better team.
agreed.
I
Yeah,
think they're playing better. I think Josh Allen's playing better. I think their offense is playing better. I think the Chiefs do have a better defense.
yeah.
I think the Chiefs haven't turned it on yet. They're not going to turn it on to the playoffs because they don't have. They're 9-0. What?
Yeah, agreed.
Why do they? What's the reason? November 17th is when they need to turn it on. They're 9-0. There's no reason for them to hit some extra level now. I mean,
Well,
they're coasting.
if they're going to be 10-0, like I want them to win convincingly where their offense scores points.
I mean, and
But
this is the game. This is the game to really show. I mean, both of these teams,
both these teams for sure.
where they're
But
at. But
my problem is like for the Bills, it's going to show a little bit, but it's not the same test that it would have been last year or the year before, or whatever. Where when these teams face off, it's it's a fucking true battle. I mean, this is I don't know. These are two teams who we really don't know their identities at all.
And
the Chiefs just win games because they win games.
we shit on the Bills 8-2 record, and I mean you could shit on the Chiefs 9-0 record because of the way they have won certain games, but I mean they have beaten the Ravens, they have beaten the Niners, they have beaten the Bengals. You know they've beaten
Agreed.
teams,
Agreed.
the Falcons, but
But
like but I mean but then they barely beat Denver.
Like, there's a lot of game. I mean, they really truly barely beat that team. But no, their defense has done a lot of the heavy lifting for them. I do like Buffalo in this game, but again, it is the Chiefs, and they're bound to go. Would it be 20-0?
I think so.
Divisional championship Super Bowl, they'd be 20-0. So yeah, they're on their way to being 20-0. But yeah, I want to see the Bills win. I'm tired of this Chiefs bullshit, but as long as there's no like referee dog shit, then I'll be all right with this game. But if there is, I'm gonna be pissed.
I think KC's winning this game. I honestly went into this thinking Buffalo was gonna pull off the dub, but looking at it now,
I want to eliminate the factor of bullshit.
Like
I really don't think the Chiefs are good. I mean, there is the Patrick Mahomes factor and all that, but if you look at these weapons, they don't have a running game.
The Travis Kelce factor, the D-Hop factor, the Pacheco returning soon factor.
That's true. They do have the
bro. There's factors.
There's a few.
This team.
Fuck.
This team
I don't know. I have no idea.
This team's only going to get better, and if I don't think the Bills are that good.
No. Yeah, I don't know.
But we're just two idiots who don't deserve to have a podcast. But I'm going with Kansas City. Give me KC.
I mean, truly, in my heart, Kansas City's probably going to win this game, but I don't want to see that. So
I say they stop. I say the Bills. I say the Bills think they're going to have some type of balanced game. They're going to come out, get the run game stuffed early, put the game into Josh Allen's hands, which means that the ball is going to be in Patrick Mahomes' hands. And I think if we're saying Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, these two are deciding the football game, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes. I have to.
True.
I have to. Who you going with?
I'm taking Buffalo.
Buffalo. All right. Devin's going with Buffalo. All right.
Beefalo.
To me, a good Sunday night football game. Bengals Chargers.
Yeah, nah. I mean, hopefully it's good.
Well, the reason I think it's going to be good is this is when the Chargers hype may start to die.
Yeah. Like, you got a... Damn, they're 6-3, dog.
They're 6-3, but at the same time, the Bengals are 4-6, and I think they'll be 5-6 with more hype than the 6-4 Chargers.
No, agreed. Like, the Bengals, just offensively, are a much more dangerous team. Now, defensively, the Bengals have struggled a good bit.
Yes.
But the Chargers' offense does not scare me. What, Quentin Johnston's going to take over a game?
J.K. Dobbins.
J.K.'s going to...
Because, I mean,
J.K. will have a good half, probably. He'll have a good first half. He's going to be hard to contain, but if Jamar's out there being Jamar and Joe Burrow's getting that bitch to him, I think they'll be pretty all right out there.
I mean, if you look at the Chargers, or if you look at the Bengals right now, so they're 4-6. They beat the Chargers. They could be 5-6. They're going to their bye week. The rest of their year, I mean, so they got Pittsburgh twice. Then they got Browns, Tennessee, Dallas, and Denver. I mean, we're looking. I don't want to.
But it starts here. They got to win this game.
Don't want to sound crazy at all, but this is a very, very, very possible win out scenario. Those boys could win out.
If not losing one, yeah. But no, winning this game is the first big step.
And I mean, they could finish this 11-6 going to the playoffs, as the scariest wild card team in all of the playoffs and in all the NFL. They'd be the scariest wild card team if they went on some type of crazy 10, 11, or
I mean,
10,
they're
8 or
truly
9
one of the
game win streak.
scariest offensive teams. They
Yeah.
might be probably the second scariest in the league right now.
Give me Cincy.
Yeah.
Give me Cincinnati. And then Monday Night Football, Devin. We got Houston versus Dallas.
Houston.
Yeah, Houston, pretty simple.
Yeah.
Not much to really discuss for that.
Yeah, Cooper Rush and Ezekiel, Cooper Rush and Ezekiel Elliott, maybe in 2017, 2018.
Cooper Rush and Ezekiel Elliott.
I mean, Cooper Rush had some good games, a few good games, 4, 5, 6 years ago, whenever the fuck that was. This is straight poverty right now. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Give me Houston.
Which I don't give a fuck. I mean,
no,
Cowboys deserve this.
It is what it is.
They put it on themselves. I don't care.
All right, let's talk some NBA, Devin. Obviously, we were talking about some NBA, and we were talking about the NBA Cup and everything that's going on. But we got a 14-0 Cavs team still going.
Did you see Caitlin Clark almost dome a bunch of people with a golf ball?
I did not see that.
She was playing in a golf tournament and she topped a shot and almost hit people in the head.
Is she a bad golfer?
Apparently she's good, but she just hit a real bad shot.
Okay, all right, tough.
I think the hair got in the way.
Okay, so let's talk some NBA, Devin, instead of whatever the fuck you were about to get into. Zion Williamson.
Get the weed whacker.
It officially came out. Expected to miss at least.
Gay?
No. Zion Williamson expected to miss at least 4 to 6 weeks.
Damn.
And I recently learned that, maybe I forgot and we already knew this, but he came in at his lightest this season.
Yeah.
Lightest in his career. And is still going to be out for at least 4 to 6 weeks.
What sucks is that this might justify his eating habits. He's like, yeah, I'm going to get injured regardless. Why not keep eating poopies?
Yeah, he definitely does.
I just got bad ankles and hamstrings and all that shit.
I guess he kind of did solidify,
my body sucks regardless.
I just ate hella. But look at Anthony Richardson. It's like,
yeah,
he's the Zion Williamson of the NFL, and he's the Anthony Richardson of the NBA. That's what this is. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, that sucks.
But the Pelicans, they're kind of screwed anyways. With DeJounte being out too,
of course
it's a Brandon Ingram show, which I'm not mad at personally.
I definitely think that for Zion to succeed in the future, he's probably gonna have to get out of New Orleans. But yeah, it's a shame that he's not out there playing.
LeBron James again, for the 475th time probably, teasing retirement, which obviously, you got to think though. I know the conversation it's had a lot. It's always talked about, but it kind of changes. It kind of flips back and people go back and forth a lot.
His conversations?
Well, it's just sometimes it's maybe he has a year left. You got to think a couple years ago, the idea of him waiting to play with Bronny, it was like, well, what if Bronny doesn't? It's then it got to the point where it's no, LeBron's still playing. No. Is still hooping.
No, LeBron might outplay Bronny.
Well, LeBron said about one or two more years. He started by saying 1 or 2 more years. He also threw in and said
he wants to wait till Bryce hits the league as well.
Yes, he said Bryce may keep him around longer.
Yeah.
But then he also threw in that he's not playing till the wheels fall off. So you got to look at a couple things.
But here's the thing. Where with where are the wheels falling off?
Thank you.
I don't think they'll ever fall off.
Thank you. Thank you. Now I won't say never. Like if he's 65,
No, of
obviously the wheels
course.
are falling off. But
Of course.
if he in the next for a 5-year window is still putting up the numbers he's putting up right now,
yeah,
the wheels aren't falling off. There's no wheels falling.
No.
So you can't go, I'm gonna go a year or two because I'm not playing till the wheels fall off. Because in a year or two, if you're still in these type of conversations, if you're still a top 5 player in the NBA,
well, the fact that like he's said a year or two so many times, and it's like I think every time he gets to that next year or two, he feels the same.
but
There's
then
not this big change, and you're all fucking old and shit.
but then say a year or two, Bryce is hooping.
Yeah,
He's going crazy.
And it ain't gonna be Bronny, but Bryce might be.
And he's sitting there like, damn. So I could
I go play for Orlando.
Actually take a step back and let bro go crazy, and maybe that adds another year or two. But I mean, I would also say
he's what 39 now.
Yeah, I feel like LeBron's been 39 for 4 years now. Yeah, definitely a couple years at least.
But no, I give him until like I think max 45,
which doesn't sound crazy. Like I was gonna say like I won't be shocked if he's still like hooping at 43, and it's like no. So yeah, like 45 if he decides to retire. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Like that's where I think he'll hit 45 and go, yeah, there's no reason for me to play anymore. Do you think he'll do a farewell tour? Or do you think he'll?
Sure. Well, we've talked about this.
But see, here's the thing. It's like, is he going to know that at the end of that year, he's going to want to retire? Because there's so many years where he's got unfinished business and he still feels like he can play. And I mean, shit, the motherfucker, he's a billionaire already and he's playing in the league. It's like, there weren't, like, MJ didn't hit billionaire status until he got out of the league. Tom's going to hit it after the league. It's like, he can still play and be a businessman and make a bunch of bread, and he doesn't have to stop and go do other shit.
Yeah. Well, it has to truly be something that he actually wants to put more time and commitment to than basketball.
Like being like it's probably gonna be like making wine or something.
And maybe he ends up coaching at some point and doing whatever he does. I don't.
I think he's gonna be more so owner level.
Well, he's definitely gonna be involved in basketball.
Of course.
He's definitely gonna stay involved with. But also with the
especially if his kids start to develop a little bit.
With the farewell thing, I think as as we get closer and closer to him retiring, and I feel like it was already happening last year. I think more and more arenas will just not will not take him being there for granted and will appreciate.
Agreed. Yeah.
Like I feel like it seemed like last season, even like there were a couple times where it's like, who knows if LeBron will be back in this arena?
Yeah.
And fans kind of almost were like, appreciating, taking in the moment. But I think that might be something that just happens more and more. Like if LeBron's 42, 43, just like yeah, it's like, all right, if this is your last time playing in the Cavs arena,
yeah,
let's give you a standing ovation just in case.
Sure.
But I mean, at this point, it's like, fuck it, he deserves one anyways. So it's.
But I mean, like a farewell tour would mean that like the wheels have fallen off, and he's like, yeah, I'm done.
Well, no, because he can decide that he's going to retire at the end of the season, and it doesn't mean the wheels fall off. Because he said he's not.
No, I know, but that's more so of like what I expect. I don't expect him to go into a season saying, "Hey, this is my last year," unless it's like he's trying to. He might tell his teammates so that.
I mean, if he's old, bro, I don't know. Like we talked about this, I think bro likes the attention. He's gonna want people to know. He's
yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I was good when he was like, they're like, Brian, you gonna cry when you break the record? He was like, nah, I'm gonna cry if I get another championship. This motherfucker's bawling his eyes out mid game. It's like, all right, dude.
The real question is, how many trophies or how many statues does he get?
Definitely Cleveland. Miami's petty as fuck.
How many does he deserve?
3. shit, he deserves one in every stadium, maybe.
Wow. You know, when I met you,
I know. I agree. I agree.
like when I met you, like a
I
long,
agree.
long time ago when I met you, I would have never thought those words would come out of your mouth.
Shit, I didn't believe him until maybe a few years ago.
That's
Um,
insane.
but no, definitely Cleveland. He deserves one. Um, but yeah, I think Miami. Um, and yeah,
I mean,
the
obviously
Lakers.
the
Why not?
hardest argument is the Lakers, but just curious, out of curiosity, what is it for the Lakers that's like just? I mean, it has to be more
It's
than
it's
just him
it's the
being there.
championship thing. It's the
Okay,
fact that Shaq's got 3 and there, and Kobe's got 5, and all that all that championship bullshit. Um,
so
but no, I
him
mean
just getting
this.
the one gets him in.
If LeBron was not on this team, they're poverty.
Yeah, they were on their way.
And
They were on their way for sure.
like big time.
Because
And
everybody
it's
keeps
like they were
saying,
trying to scrounge together these young dudes, and none of them.
and
But I mean, to be completely honest, like if they had let those dudes develop a little bit more and didn't trade them,
I don't know. I was just about to.
like Lonzo got better later in his career. Julius got better later in his career. They brought back D Russ. D Russ got better later in his career. Like there's a few dudes, Kuzma, a few dudes who got better later in
But
their
I
career.
don't know if they. I don't know if they.
But they still wouldn't have been scary
I
right
don't
here.
know if they get better if they don't all go
Go
in their
branch and
own.
branch off, sure.
Yeah, it's like if like no,
In that system, it was pretty terrible.
if
Yeah,
you kept all of those young guys around LeBron, it would have just been a big waste of time.
agreed. Yeah.
Um,
Um,
so yes,
but yeah, I don't know.
in theory, if you got all those, if you got Brandon Ingram back, if you got Kyle Kuzma back, if you got Lonzo back,
Yeah,
if you were able to get these versions of them now back, yeah,
yeah,
it'd be great. But
yeah,
I don't know if you would get those versions of them if they stayed a Laker.
yeah. But no, I think yeah. I mean, I know L.A. and Miami are both petty or whatever, or just prestigious about who they're putting statues up for. But it's fucking LeBron James. LeBron James is on your team, and he's not just hanging around like MJ was a few years, like for his last 2 years.
Yeah, yeah.
MJ was just there. He wanted a role higher up in the team, and they're like, he can probably still suit up, go out there and play a little bit. No, this is LeBron's 4th prime, and he's out of there competing. So I don't know.
All right, and then the final NBA thing I have, which obviously just adds more fuel to the fire about the scheduling and how the NBA could just do better and just make the regular season more entertaining and maybe from a scheduling standpoint. And it was Steve Kerr saying 82 games is too much. It's too much basketball. The modern style of basketball, it just causes too many injuries with 82 games being played.
You know what's crazy to me is like I don't know if the NBA will ever like understand like how to get people to watch their sport. Like yeah, maybe less games is going to create more of a kind of push toward, but for how many years? I would say 75, maybe almost 80 years. Nobody, nobody complained about having 82 games. They played the 82 games because that's the amount of games that were on their schedule. No, when you play professional sport, you understand that you have a long season.
Okay, okay. I mean, I feel you. I feel you.
And it's like when what we're gonna call every championship Mickey Mouse. We had the COVID shit. Called that shit Mickey Mouse immediately because it was shortened and weird and all that shit.
Everything would
It's
be
like now
Mickey
every
Mouse moving
championship
forward.
after this is gonna be Mickey Mouse.
Mm-hmm. Well,
All because but the problem is they're playing a softer game of basketball.
yeah. I mean, well, I
The
guess
crazy thing is you just got a bunch of 7'9" fucking freaks out here who take care of their body or whatever, but they're out there doing outlandish shit and getting hurt.
I think
I don't know. It's dumb to me.
I think it's more up here. Let me look into the to what exactly he said because uh here the game 82 games is too many. Players playing harder and faster than ever leads to injuries. I think guys are playing faster and harder than ever before. if you turn on a game from the 80s, turn on a Lakers Celtics finals game, first of all, you pick up the guy at the top of the key. You don't pick him up at half court. You rarely ever have to run beyond the 3-point line to challenge the shot. We're playing faster these days. The pace is up. I think guys are having to cover so much ground defensively, and we're asking them to play harder and harder after night. And I know a lot of the old guys just don't really buy that. But the old days, the game was inside out. It was dump into the post. There was no verticality. There was no verticality.
Sure. That's a word.
There we go. Bro's expanding his vocabulary. Remember in the old days, you just took a charge. There was no charge circle. So, all right, he's yapping about the old days. Now, here's my thing. So there's another sport that has progressed and gotten faster, and it's just made it's just gotten.
And what have they done?
What are they? They added games.
They added games. Why? Because they have a good product. Why don't you focus on your product and making that a better product rather than coming out here and saying we're going to have less games, which is crazy to me because you have a 40-year-old fucking man who's out there playing damn near 82 games a season. Meanwhile, you got a 26-year-old who's 7 foot and refuses to play back-to-backs, or however the fuck old Joel is, or however old Kawhi is. Like, this is a personnel issue. This is your players having too much power in this league and deciding when they're going to play games or not.
Well,
Steph Curry's not out here complaining about having too many games.
I mean, I got a couple things.
And what, you're going to take out 20 games?
See, there's a couple directions you can go in without just taking away a bunch of games. Now, you could go your way, which is series play.
I like series. I like 2 to 3 games.
Easy.
2 games is the standard, and then you'll have a few 3 games.
Now, series play. Now, I think one big thing I feel it seems like is a complaint is the traveling.
Yeah.
If you do the series play, that takes away less traveling right away.
You're in a city for 3 days.
Now, I think the next thing you could do is maybe change these these conferences.
Sure.
Maybe make
them real.
Maybe make them real. Make them closer. Maybe try to form some type of rivalry between these teams and
I'm saying,
and build some type of.
It's like, no, when you need a divisional rival.
Like it's like
where you're going to play harder against them.
We are excited for the Ravens and the Steelers. There is no Ravens Steelers in the NBA.
No, there's none of that.
But there's not
like even, there's Bron and Steph or KD and whatever.
Bron
but
and
it's
Steph,
still
on a random Tuesday night, you got Bron and Steph. It's not the same as 4:00 prime. I mean, not even prime time. 4:00 Bills Chiefs. Yeah. They're putting that all over America on CBS.
Of course.
Fuck your West Coast games. You're 100%. Watching the Chiefs and the Bills play. The NBA doesn't. The regular season for the NBA just doesn't even get that type of respect. But they also they don't try. They don't have a Monday Night Football, a Sunday Night Football. They don't have a spectacle. They they have their NBA Wednesday, NBA Tuesday prime time,
or now they have the Tuesday Friday Cup games or whatever.
And they're trying with the regular season with the tournament.
But so I understand why they're like. I guess like the idea behind less games is yes, you have players out there more often. Maybe like injuries happen all the fucking time, regardless of how many games. Like dudes aren't getting injured in game 72. Dudes are getting injured in game 6.
Yeah.
Or preseason. So what the fuck's the difference when you're 80 games in?
Yeah. And also,
dudes aren't getting injured before the playoffs. They're getting injured right fucking now.
And also, back to like the divisional shit. When you think about it, it's like, why are divisional games so important in the NFL, Devin?
Because it matters for playoff seeding.
Because if you win your division,
you get
a spot.
Yeah. Instead, the entire NBA is just seeds.
West, East.
Yep.
Play good enough.
Seed.
If you build like that's maybe it's not all right. The fans it's not their job to get to form some type of rivalry. But if you go over the next 5 or 10 years where it's like, Oh no, it's like the Pacers were the reasons the Knicks didn't make the playoffs. Like that
Well,
sucks.
there's
Like you
implications.
might really
Like there's no implications. Like if a team loses to a certain team, it's just a loss on their record.
It's
That's it.
another Tuesday night.
Agreed.
These games are taken for granted because they really don't matter in hindsight. Like
No,
you
they don't
gotta
matter.
every single game matters in the NFL.
It's like a win against the Celtics counts the same as a win against the Pistons.
But if you make like a division, like make rivalry weeks, make a series where everybody's in their division playing rivalries and change the format for the playoffs. Fuck a play-in where the bottom shitty teams get a chance to make it. No, the top 4 teams are the top 4 winners of the or the top 3 are the winner of their top 3. The top 3 seeds are the winners of their divisions. Period.
Yep.
That should be what it is.
I mean, shit. Maybe add another. Yeah. I mean, sure. Yeah. But we're sitting at what 10 playoff teams if you add in the play-ins. There's 10 spots. It's like baseball right now is the 3 division winners plus 3 wild cards. 6 teams. 7 teams?
17.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Either way, but we're so many fucking teams, and again, it's like you could play a shit ton of games against shitty teams, win those, and now you've snuck into a 10 spot. You've got 1 game or 2 games or whatever to play in, and it's over. Like no one gives a shit about the play-in. It's either you make the playoffs or you don't.
We
That's
begged for an extra spot in the playoffs because there were teams not making the playoffs that deserved it. We got teams celebrating making the playoffs that were.
Well, there's so many teams with inflated records now.
Yeah,
it's like your record is sure good, but this team sucks. And I don't know,
but like look at all the
really
things.
Change.
Think of all. We just named like 8 things the NBA could do.
Yeah.
Tonight to make the NBA more interesting during the regular season.
Instead, they throw a fucking useless. Like no one cares. Like and that's where like it all starts with the players. When the players don't give a shit. Like, sure, I bet some of them do. Some of them want that $500K or whatever the fuck. But when they really, truly do not care, it's just another regular season game, then it's like there's no way the fans want to care about it.
But then when it's like, oh, we have to win. It's like, oh, if we win the Northwest, we're going to make the playoffs?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm really going to make sure I'm going to play extra hard versus Northwest opponents.
And it's like, exactly. And it's like, I'm playing, like, you don't have to compete against the Celtics of a division or the Celtics of a conference or the top teams in the conference. You're competing against your own division.
And then
it's like a team like on the Falcons level can skirt by with a worse record and get into the playoffs.
Because at first I was thinking like, okay, maybe if you want to expand this in-season tournament where it's like, all right, maybe the winners of each division gets the top seed in the tournament, but it's like fuck that, make that the playoffs, make that the playoff implications.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's just there's a lot. I mean, I feel like there could just be a lot more productive things going on in NBA conversations on how to make the regular season better. If you're actually,
but now Steve Kerr's calling for the game to be slowed down, which is the opposite of what needs to happen.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. If instead of complaining, like it's a lot of complaining.
No, there's a lot of like, oh, we play too many games.
But no
we do this and we do that. It's like, no, change the format of the NBA because honestly, there is no more like localized sports teams. Like most of the NBA is just being fans of certain teams, which create these little pockets in different areas for 10, 15 guys maybe. Outside of that, you're looking at no one gives a shit about the Pistons. No one gives a shit about the Wizards or any of these fucking teams.
And we just sat here and we just sat here and made the NBA better in 10 minutes. I mean,
make me commish.
It's simple. It's not that hard. But all right, with all that being said, we talked Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fighting each other, which it happened. It happened. All the Week 11's games, predictions and previews Thursday night football. We talked some NBA. Steve Kerr complaining, LeBron dropping hints, and Zion not playing. That's NBA. That
But Zion goes a whole offseason healthy.
does he? Do
Healthy-ish.
we know that?
Plays a few games and then gets hurt.
Yes.
It's nothing to do with playing fucking too many games in a season.
No, absolutely nothing. But with all that being said, I guess is there anything you need to get off your chest before we get out of here?
Yeah, no, I would like the NBA to like truly make some cool changes because what they're doing right now with the NBA is essentially what they're doing with the WNBA, which is lying about how much hype there is around certain things in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were putting WNBA stuff on the front page of everything of ESPN. It's the first thing you see when you open up ESPN during the season. And this is while the NFL is happening. It's like there's no way that this is more important than the NFL. And there's no fucking way that anyone is tuning into NBA Cup games because it's the NBA Cup. No one cares.
Yeah.
About the in-season tournament or anything, but when they talk about it and they hype it up, they try to make people think that it's a big thing. It's not. No one gives a shit. We'll care about the playoffs when the playoffs happen. It's the only thing anyone cares about. But no, they need rivalries back. They need some fire in this league because there's nothing right now. It's just the same bullshit they've been doing for the past forever. It's not cool anymore.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode of On It. We'll be back on Tuesday to talk about the outcomes of Week 11 football. Talking Week 12 Thursday night football, maybe some NBA, maybe some college football, maybe some off the record shit. Who knows? Brand new episodes every Tuesday and Saturday. We'll be back on Tuesday. It has been me. It has been Devin. It has been real. We are out.
OJ for president.